Welcome, everybody, to the Irish Hills of Michigan. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Doghouse Racing League Shoney's Tuesday Night Truck Series. My name's Josh Hall. We're here on iRacing getting ready for 40 laps in the Irish Hills of Michigan. At the top of the board so far, Kevin Powell out there. David Husley sits back in third. Andrew St. Cyr is in second. And Stephen Tucker slowing down on the front stretch here, currently fifth on the speed charts. It's going to be a wild one here tonight at Michigan. If you've never watched a truck race at Michigan, these trucks put on a great show. It's almost like a super speedway. A lot of drafting, a lot of momentum that these trucks are able to keep to move forward. We're going to see some wild racing here tonight. We got about 5 minutes until, or 4.5 minutes until qualifying starts up. So let's take a look at our point standings. And we see Andrew Peck currently at the top of the board. I'm sorry, Andrew Pratt currently at the top of the board. I apologize. With Jeremiah Stutzman sitting back in second. Ken Thompson in third. Christopher Simon and Christopher Leftwich, your top five. Then Justin McMahon, Marshall Johnson, Jason Miz, David Husley, and Donnell Leftwich make up your top 10. Couple movers. Justin McMahon moving up 2 spots last week after New Hampshire. I'll keep that up on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is in the point standings. Another big mover, Mike Sema up into the 17th position, up 3. Kevin O'Powell up 3 spots, up in the 15th. So a couple big movers in the point standings after last week at New Hampshire. Take a look at the team standings. Of course, Twisted Axle East up at the top. At the top, Motorsports sits back in second. LNS Motorsports is back in third. Those three have not changed positions. But Southern Motorsports jumps up a spot. Last Chance Racing jumps up a spot. Twisted Axle North drops down 2 spots. Elite Southern Motorsports, It's a Handful Motorsports, Southeast Motorsports 2, and Southeast Motorsports round out the top 10 in the teams championship here. Take a look at Andrew St. Cyr out on track right now. Currently second on the board, making some pit stop practice, and it's a tough pit road to get onto. You carry a lot of speed around this track. It's really easy to overdrive the pits or even miss pit road completely trying to get on the pit road. So we'll be watching for that all night long. And thank you for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. As always, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help us out a lot. And Justin McMahon, as I mentioned, jumping up a couple spots after his win last week at New Hampshire. Currently back in the 25th position, but you can see right now, as I was saying, drafting is going to be a huge part. We see this big group of trucks right here. Getting some drafting practice under their belts. Oh, one truck just went sliding off. Did just notice that my YouTube chat is not working currently. So I do apologize if you're talking on the YouTube. I cannot see any responses from you. Ooh, Christopher left switch hard into the wall there. Christopher Simon, currently 10th on the board. So we have about 10 seconds before practice concludes. And we get qualifying underway. Again, just a handful of races left here in the season. Just 2 more after this. Next week we move on to Pocono and wrap up the season in Indianapolis. So 2 weeks after this to crown a champion here in the Doghouse Racing League. So we got 5 minutes of qualifying at hand. Let's see who the first drivers to hit pit road are. It looks like one of the first drivers to hit pit road is the 13 of Christopher Leftwich. Leftwich run that high lane trying to get the truck wound up like you would at a super speedway. Not going to be the preferred line to get around in the race, but definitely here to get the truck wound up. It's the place to be. You see those seams that run across the track? Those actually have a little loss of grip in them, so if you hit that seam wrong, you can slide your truck right across the track. Typically, you want to be right on the first seam. You don't want to be running right on that white line, but one lane up right on the seam, although we see Leftwich go right down to the bottom. In qualifying, you can do that because you don't need to save those tires as much as you would running in the race. In the race, though, you definitely want to run a lane up to make sure to keep your tires underneath you, as Christopher Leftwich currently goes top of the board. Tyler Millette back in second. Now Steve Tucker jumps up to the top spot. And Adam Gardner now up onto the current pole position. And for those who've been watching for a while, I do apologize for the little quick blink outs of the trucks. I've been in contact with iRacing for some time now, trying to get that cleared up on my end. And so do bear with me as we do continue to get that problem fixed up on my end. David Husley now currently second fastest. Adam Gardner at the top of the board with a 39.86. We got about 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Couple drivers just making their way out on track right now to get their qualifying attempt done. Kevin Thompson, Andrew St. Cyr just took the green flag. Jason Miz just coming down the backstretch on his first lap right now. As David Husley on his second lap is going to not improve his time. He's going to stay up in the second position. See St. Cyr out on the track right now. Coming to take the white flag. And St. Cyr is going to only go P26 on his first lap. See if he's able to improve his time. Jason Miz just went P4. Kevin Thompson went P10 on his first lap. See what he's able to do here on his second lap. Eric Peck jumping up into the third position. But so far, nobody able to break into the 8s other than Adam Gardner. See what Kevin Thompson does here off of turn number 4. Down to the stripe. And the 21 will not improve his time. He'll actually go a little bit slower on his second lap. And that's going to do it for qualifying here, as nobody else is going to have any time to make their qualifying attempt. So again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. As always, the Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's open for daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. So as we get ready to take a look at the starting lineup, Adam Gardner will be on pole with David Husley starting back in the second position. Eric Peck will roll off third with Steven Tucker in fourth and Jason Miz rounding out your top 5. Christopher Leftwich in the Shoney's machine. He'll be rolling off sixth with Andrew Pratt and Christopher Simon back in row number 4. Andrew St. Cyr and Marshall Johnson will occupy row number 5. Leander Johnson in the 32, roll off in 11th with Kevin Thompson back in the 12th position. 13th we'll find Kevin Powell and Stephen Hayes. Then Michael Sema and Tyler Millette back in row number 8. Row 9 was Adam Duff and Daniel Wilkerson, and rounding out your 10th row will be Chuck Cobb and Mike Leftwich. E.J. Luna and Michael Lester Sr., they'll be rolling off in the 11th row, and the 12th row will be Gary Armijo and William McKellar. Back in 25th is the 96 of Mike Hayes and Kenny Heath back in 26th. Justin McMahon, last week's winner, back in 27th. Jason Schilling in the 28th position. Jeremiah Stutzman rolls off 29th, and Ricky Hudges from the 30th position. And rounding out the rest of the field will be Randall Barnett and the 67 of Doug Solms. The trucks are rolling off onto the Speedway. We see Adam Gardner making his way out onto track from the number 1 position. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight as we get ready for 40 laps here from the Irish Hills of Michigan. Take a look at the race info here, track info. 2-mile long track, D-shaped oval, 72 degrees, a little bit of humidity. Track, though, that track temperature way up there, over 100. That's going to make the track very slick here tonight. So we'll see these drivers really, depending on their tires, they'll be slip sliding all over the place here tonight. It'll be a fun one to watch as we see the field making their way down into turn number 3. Of course, these drivers do use the restart zone. However, the start of the race will be on the green flag. After that, every other restart will take place within the Geico restart zone. And if we have a restart, I'll explain those rules just a little bit more. But we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Adam Gardner leads him down to the green flag. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Michigan, and already a great jump for Adam Gardner. He's got Eric Peck right on the back bumper, giving a great push. Jason Miz right there in the 7 truck, trying to move around David Husley as well on the low side. 75 of Andrew Pratt right there in the mix, and Steven Tucker trying to make his mark here as well as they come off of turn 1 for the first time. Pretty even start for everybody. Not a lot of mixing it up yet. Couple drivers making some moves already towards the back of the field. Is Husley now on the low side trying to get around Adam Gardner to retake over the lead? As I come across the stride, Adam Gardner is going to lead the first lap of the race. Husley, though, right there battling Eric Peck side by side as we got the diamond formation going down into turn number 1. A little further back, we've got some 3-wide racing in the pack. See Marshall Johnson just sneaking out in front. Couple drivers moving around as we got a battle for the lead. Husley down to the inside, made the move down the backstretch. And David Husley is going to take over the lead here as they come across the stripe, but Gardner is going to fight back hard on the high side. They're still side by side, battling for the lead. While those two are battling side by side, the drivers behind are just kind of taking it easy right now. They don't want to eat up their tires. They know these two are going to be battling hard, wearing out those tires, especially that right front gets really beat up when you're running the low lane like that. Here comes Gardner using a little side draft, pulling himself back up to the side of the 57. So the battle for the lead continues here, pretty much from the drop of the green flag. Although it looks like Adam Gardner is going to have this time, as the caution is out, it looks like, I believe that's EJ Luna went around on the backstretch. Chuck Cobb also involved. He's down on the bottom of the track. That's going to bring up our first Wreckage Rewind of the night. As we take a look to see exactly what happened to Chuck Cobb. Well, we see some hard racing here. Off 3-wide racing off of turn number 2. Oh, EJ Luna comes off the wall and catches the 81. Chuck Cobb, he goes sliding down to the infield. EJ Luna stopping there on the backstretch, trying to get it straightened out there. And EJ just gonna, Chuck Cobb just gonna have the damage on the side of his truck. Doesn't look like he caught the wall. Looks like he was able to get it woed down before making contact with the wall. So just the damage from the side-to-side contact on that 81 truck. He should be able to make it down on the pit road and get some of that damage fixed. Our leader, Adam Gardner, makes his way down on the pit road. Kevin Powell, Sema, Adam Duff, EJ Luna, Michael Lester Sr., Daniel Wilkinson. So half the field out on the pit road right now. That's going to give the lead over to David Husley. Eric Peck is going to sit there in second. Andrew Pratt, Jason Miz, and Andrew St. Cyr round out your top 5. Drivers trying to stretch the fuel run here. Michigan's always famous for fuel mileage races. Looks like we might see another one of those here tonight. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, the SCSRA Xfinity Series will be wrapping up their season in their chase. 3 drivers battling it out for a championship. So you're not going to want to miss that. Friday night, we've got the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series, which is the Gen 6 cars. It's been a very, very good season so far. We're just 2 races in, and we've seen some fantastic racing already, so not going to want to miss that, as this week they'll be at Auto Club, the sister track to here at Michigan. Then we have our Sunday night truck doubleheader. That will be from Kentucky. So great racing coming up. Of course, 2 more weeks here in the Doghouse Racing League. We're going to be at Pocono next week and then Indianapolis. So as always, a week chock full of racing here on Intensity. Of course, we want to shout out our boy Atlee Atman-Weiss, founder of Intensity Broadcasting. The young man had a great week down in Charlotte. Had 2 races in his Bandolero and came home in 2nd place in both of them behind his teammate. So a great team effort and a great weekend for Atlee. So congrats again to the young man of the 78 Bandolero. But here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. So the restart rule works like this. The leader has to maintain his speed. See Husley up on the high side. He has to maintain his speed until he reaches the Geico restart zone. He can accelerate anywhere in the zone to initiate the start. And there he goes. Takes off. If he took off too early, he would have been black flagged. If he took off too late, the field would receive the green flag and racing would resume without him. But Husley able to get a great jump out on Eric Peck as they go down into turn number 1. And at a track like this, where drafting is such a huge part of the racing, getting out to too big of a lead is not your friend. Well, you see Eric Peck tucking right on that back bumper like you would see at Daytona or Talladega. Now he's going to take a look down to the inside, and Eric Peck trying to take over the lead as they come through turns 3 and 4. But Husley fighting back on the high side. He's got some drafting help from Andrew Pratt up on that high side as well, where Eric Peck really doesn't have anybody on the low side helping him out. Here comes some help down from Christopher Leftwich, but Eric Peck's going to dive back up onto the high side and tuck back in line. So we see the field kind of getting back to single file racing. Side-by-side racing back here. We see Kevin Thompson trying to make some moves here. He's got Gary Armijo, who's up 13 spots up into the 10th position in that red, white, and blue number 2. Thompson tucked right underneath the 31 of Marshall Johnson. And Thompson's trying to move himself forward. They make their way off of turn number 2. And you see the 94 of Tyler Millette also tucking in underneath the back bumper of the 21. Here comes the 63 of Randall Barnett as well. And Michael Sema back there. So we got a couple of trucks starting to line up here on the low side. We see the 13 of Christopher Leftwich still on the low side. Not able to do anything as David Husley now has some challenge on the high side. Andrew Pratt moved up to the high side to try to get around the 57, but the 57 was able to get back in front, and now Andrew Pratt down on the low side. Again, though, we've seen this tonight where trying to pass the leader with no help just does not work out, but Andrew Pratt tried to pull a slide job, was not clear. They are side by side for the lead with Eric Peck right there behind. Now Christopher Simon starting to move his way up a little bit closer. Oh, there's contact! Husley gets turned right in front of the field. Oh, this is going to be a big one. Caution is out, but this is going to be a huge wreck. Oh, Jeremiah Stutzman, Mr. Consistency all season long, gets caught up in it. Hard contact. Man, there's going to be a lot to sort out here as we bring up the Wreckage Rewind. I think it'd be easier for me to tell you who is not involved than to say who was. We can take a look here. From the blimp, we see the contact going into turn number 1. Leslie gets turned around. Andrew Pratt thought he does get through, so doesn't Eric Peck. See, Miz gets caught up in it. Leftwich, we see the 2 of Garamijo sliding right through. And then the rest of the field. Kevin Thompson able to get down to the bottom, avoid it. There goes Seema sliding through as well. Randall Barnett gets through as well, but then just a lot of drivers just nowhere to go. The track closes up, and see Jeremiah Stutzman come through there as well. Mike Hayes involved. Christopher Simon towards the back there. So it just happens so fast. There's just nothing that these drivers could really do. As everybody comes down pit road except for Eric Peck. Remember, these drivers do not have fast repairs. You see the damage on the right front of Andrew Pratt's machine. So these drivers do not have resets. So any damage that they received here, they're going to have to try to get fixed up. Kevin Thompson does have a little bit of right front damage as well. I think pretty much the entire field has damage right now. You see Gardner coming to his pit stall. And with the exception of Eric Peck and Randall Barnett and Michael Lester Senior, looks like everybody else behind has received some sort of damage. So the big one you normally see reserved for Daytona and Talladega strikes here at Michigan. A tough break for our leaders and our pole sitter, all getting involved in that one. So when we come across the line this time, we will complete lap 14 of 40. And lights are off on the pace car. Eric Peck will choose the high side. Randall Barnett. Oh no, I take that back. Lights are still on. They will be shutting off when we come by the start-finish line this time. But they're already getting re-racked and restacked here. So going back to that restart zone, the leader has to maintain pace speed up until they enter the zone. If they slow down too much or accelerate too much, they will receive a black flag. Inside the restart zone, they can choose to fire off at the beginning, at the end, or anywhere in between. Once the leader accelerates, the green flag will fly and the racing will resume. If the leader does not restart within the zone, as soon as he reaches the end of the zone, the green flag will come out regardless. And racing will resume whether the leader has initiated it or not. Takes out a little bit of the game playing. I know this league isn't famous for it. They do a pretty good job on starts and restarts, but some of the other leagues I know, and even in real NASCAR, the drivers tend to play a little bit of games, kind of slow down too much or speed up too much at the restart, and that really changes it. Makes it a little more uniform and fair. Don't have anybody really trying to bunch the field up too much or spread things out a little too much. So it makes it a little more even on the restarts. So here we go. Our top 10 right now. Eric Peck runs first. Randall Barnett in second. Michael Lester Sr. in third. Jason Miz in fourth. Gary Armijo back in fifth. Then Kevin Powell, Andrew Pratt, Kenny Heath, Leander Johnson, and Kevin Thompson round out your top 10. And I know from sixth on back, most of these drivers do have a little bit of damage. So we'll see how these drivers are able to keep up in the draft. As we get ready to go back green flag racing. The lights are off on the pace car. We're re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire. Pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And Eric Peck will lead them back to the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. Ooh, some wheel spin out of the one. But he's able to keep it going straight as Randall Barnett is right there. And Jason Miz with a big jump on the start. Almost ran into the back of the 63. So they make their way down into turn number 1. You already see the field starting to spread out a little bit. The drivers who've got some damage not quite able to keep up as well as some of the other drivers. A little further back, we see Kenny Heath trying to make a move now underneath Kevin Powell. It's a battle for the 5th position. It looks like Kenny Heath has a pretty clean truck out there, so he's trying to make the best of what he can. So in front, Michael Lester Sr. in the 6th machine, taking a look down underneath Jason Miz here. Miz, though, too strong up on the high side, and Lester's going to have to tuck back in line and try it again. Here comes the 5 of Kenny Heath, though, still trying to work down underneath Kevin Powell. Trying to get himself up into the 5th position. And Leander Johnson back here in the 32. He's got a clean-looking truck. Looks like he was able to get through that mess as we got 3 wide in front. Oh, some contact. Kevin Powell in the middle. Oh, we got one around. Kevin Powell and the 5 of Kenny Heath are around. The 75 of Andrew Pratt involved as well. Oh, Michael Sema caught up in this one, and that's going to bring up another Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what exactly caused this yellow. Looks like 2 drivers trying to occupy the same spot. So here we go. We've got 3 wide off the corner, and Kenny Heath just slid up a little bit more. He didn't realize that they were still 3 wide. See the 2 of Armijo involved in this as well, right behind Sema. Kevin Thompson, the 75 of Andrew Pratt, all involved in this as well. See the 55. I see Ricky Hodges sneaking through there. And looks like there might have been one other truck involved as well. Oh, that looks like it was it for drivers involved. So more repairs being done here on pit road, as now those that did not pit last time by come down pit road. Eric Peck, Randall Barnett, Jason Miz, Leander Johnson, Michael Lester Sr., Kevin Thompson. So the tire field making their way down pit road now. See, Leander Johnson will make his way off of pit road first. Eric Peck and Jason Miz racing off of pit road, but Peck is going to get that position. It looks like Leander Johnson took fuel only. Ricky Hodges up into the 4th position, also taking fuel only. Or everybody else who came down pit road all took tires. Top 10 back on the track. Everybody else behind is still getting damage fixed. We see Christopher Simon finally making his way down to his pit stall. Jeremiah Stutzman, a lot of damage on that 71 machine. Rolling off of pit road. See Michael Lester Sr., who was involved in that as well. A lot of damage to the right side of his truck. Gary Armijo, he's got a decent amount of damage to his truck as well. Kenny Heath just getting some repairs. Justin McMahon, last week's winner, currently on pit road as well. He's been on pit road since lap 11. Same with Mike Hayes. So a couple drivers having some tough luck here tonight. Typically a track like Michigan, they're able to get sprung out 2, 3, 4 wide racing. McMahon says this one hurts a little. Yeah, for sure. It's a tough blow for a lot of drivers here tonight. No, I can't see it on my screen, but I did pull it up on my phone. It says, see Sheila Millette cheering on the 94 of Tyler. Tyler currently back in the 22nd position, had some damage. And unfortunately, looks like he is, nope, he is back on the track, but he is quite a few laps down. He is, looks like 4 laps down. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to go back green flag racing with just 18 laps to go when we take the green flag. A little gambling here. Leander Johnson taking fuel only. Same with Ricky Hodges. Everybody else on 4 tires as the pace car makes its way down on the pit road. And Leander Johnson approaches the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing, and Leander Johnson had a little bit of tire spin there. Jason Miz right there on the back bumper, giving the shove down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Adam Gardner, our pole sitter, who is involved in the first yellow of the night, or I should say second yellow of the night, after pitting early and getting caught back in the field, now finds himself back up in the top 5 as the side-by-side battle continues between Eric Peck and Leander Johnson. Johnson trying to use that low side, but on those older tires, we'll see if it makes 6. Now Ricky Hodges, the other driver on older tires, dives down to the bottom. Now he's going to try to push the 32 along with the 63 of Randall Barnett. So a couple drivers able to line up on the bottom line. We're going to have 2 by 2 by 2, 3 rows back. Now everybody jumps up into that high lane, and Leander Johnson's starting to find himself sliding backwards. He's got Adam Gardner up to the high side. Trying to find a hole to tuck in, but he is not able to as Ricky Hudges goes around on the high side. And behind this pack, we see the 75 of Andrew Pratt and Chuck Cobb side by side. This is for 7th and 8th. Both drivers significant damage onto their machines. Leander Johnson now is going to be able to tuck in behind the 63 of Randall Barnett as Eric Peck continues to lead. Adam Gardner looking down to the bottom of Jason Miz, trying to take over that second position. And Gardner's going to slide up into that second position easily. So Adam Gardner on a tear at the end of the race here. He's really liking this track, sat on the pole. Now he's trying to battle for the win here. So we have 14 laps to go. Seeing a lot of damaged, slower cars on the bottom of the track as Gardner dives down to the bottom through turns 1 and 2. He's got the position coming down the backstretch. Is he going to be able to complete the pass on Eric Peck as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4? Jason Miz not quite close enough to help either driver. Gardner pushes up the track just a little bit, tries to use a little side draft to slow down that one machine. But here comes Miz back on the high side. Now he's going to help the one of Eric Peck as they go down into turn number 1. We see the slower traffic again down on the bottom of the track. Gardner's able to tuck back in as they go around the damaged 21 of Kevin Thompson. Now Ricky Hudges making a move down on the low side, trying to get around Jason Miz. See if the 63 of Randall Barnett comes to help either driver. Barnett looked down to the low side, but we're going to go back single file racing among our top 6. As Andrew Pratt's damaged truck is not able to keep up with this group of 6 here. We take a look off the back bumper of Eric Peck towards Adam Gardner. So Gardner's able to pull him here on the straightaways, but Peck able to get through the corners just a little bit better. Gardner making a move now, trying to make a move, but just not able. When they come across the line this time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. And Jason Miz now taking a look down underneath the 56 of Adam Gardner. Behind we've got Randall Barnett and Ricky Hudges side by side as well. So Miz, now he's going to move up into the second position. Gardner's going to try to cross him over here though off of turn number 2. And here comes Barnett trying to take over the third position from Adam Gardner. Lessa Pratt says, "Let's go, Andrew Pratt. Great finish on your birthday, please." Andrew runs back in the 7th position with a heavily damaged truck, but holding on solidly to the 7th position. As I say that, we see Doug Solms move around the 75, so I think Solms was back there. Up 25 positions up into the 7th position, so a great run for the driver of the 67. You see him working around some lap traffic. Andrew Pratt trying to make something happen as well as Jason Miz now trying to make a move here for the lead. Andrew St. Cor says, "Bring it home, Eric," in the YouTube chat. Eric Peck's been strung by some bad luck recently. Hasn't had the finishes that he's deserved. Seems like every week he's getting caught up in somebody's mess, but tonight finds himself solidly up in front. Jason Miz, though, right there on the back bumper. And just behind, we got the battle still going on for the 3rd position as Randall Barnett's in that position now, but here comes Adam Gardner and Ricky Hudges lined up on the high side with the 32 of Leander Johnson. So now Randall Barnett up into that 3rd position. As our leaders just continue the draft and pull away from this back group. It almost seems like Miz right now is just kind of hanging out back there. Not really pushing the issue currently. As they go around the 94 of Tyler Millette. Not really pushing the issue right now. But knows when the opportunity comes, he's going to be able to try to make a move as it's just those two. As these two have strung themselves a 1-second lead over 3rd place, Randall Barnett. Leander Johnson now trying to move around Adam Gardner. Ooh, almost some contact between Gardner and Johnson as Adam's able to maintain that 5th position. Big run for the 55 of Hudges, but not able to try to make a move down into the corner. We have just 5 laps to go. When they come across the line this time, it'll be just 4 laps to go. Eric Peck still holding on to the lead. Jason Miz, though, right there in the proverbial catbird seat as he's got the front row view. Just trying to see where he can set up that one truck to make a move for the win. Here we go now. We have just 3 laps to go. Miz right there on the back bumper, trying to find what he can do. Eric Peck trying to hold on to that lead as they make their way down the backstretch. Down into turns 3 and 4. Down to the line. We have just 2 laps to go. Miz now right there on the back bumper, giving a little bit of a push. Down into turn number 1. Does Miz have anything for Peck as they make their way off of turn number 2, and Miz doesn't want to make that move too early. Down into turns 3 and 4. Miz looking up to the high side, trying to get the momentum as we come to the white flag. Miz trying to gain some momentum here as they come to the stripe. Trying to see if he can lay back and get a run through turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Miz looks up to the high side. They're side by side for the lead on this final lap. Down the backstretch, Miz and Peck. Peck has the advantage on the low side. Can Miz hold on, use a little side draft, maybe a crossover here as they come off of turn number 4. We saw Peck, the flame shoot at the side. He had to lift a little bit. Slide job. Slides up in front of the 7. Miz down to the line. It's going to be a photo finish. And Eric Peck is going to get the win by a nose here at Michigan over Jason Miz. Ricky Hudges is going to come home in 3rd. Adam Gardner back in 4th. And Leander Johnson going to be your 5th place finisher. But man, what a finish for these two. .02 is the interval between Eric Peck and Jason Miz at the line. So Eric Peck's going to make his way down onto the front stretch and celebrate his win. Ricky Hudges right there as well to get a front row seat to the show. He's going to go park it in Gatorade Victory Lane. Let's take a look at the results. Again, Eric Peck gets the win by .018 over Jason Miz. Ricky Hudges comes home 3rd. Adam Gardner, Leander Johnson, your top 5. Randall Barnett comes back for a 6th place finish. Doug Solms up to 7th. Chuck Cobb, Adam Duff, Christopher Simon round out your top 10. EJ Luna comes back to 11th after having an incident early in the race. Andrew Pratt finishes in 12th. Kevin Thompson, Jeremiah Stutzman, and Marshall Johnson round out your top 15. 16th belongs to Michael Sema, Tyler Millette back in 17th. Michael Lester Sr., Gary Amijo, and Stephen Tucker, your top 20. 21st, we Kevin Powell, Kenny Heath back in 22nd. Jason Schilling in 23rd. Stephen Hayes, David Husley, round out your top 25. Christopher Leftwich, Mike Leftwich, William McKellar, Andrew St. Cyr, Daniel Wilkerson, Mike Hayes, and Justin McMahon round out the rest of the field here tonight at Michigan. Let's talk to our 3rd place finisher first, and that is going to be the 5 of Ricky Hudges. I'm sorry, the 55 of Ricky Hudges. Ricky, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
What's going on, Josh?
Man, great job tonight. Coming home in 3rd on the podium. Kind of a wild race. Made up 27 positions, though, on the track here tonight. I know there was a battle of attrition. What was the strategy out there? Was it just avoid the wrecks, or did you kind of have an idea what the racing was going to be like out there tonight?
Be honest with you, I had no idea what it was going to be like. Running with these guys every week, it's entertaining. Some tracks are good, some tracks are, it's hell on wheels. But for the most part, most of these guys are pretty respectable. I got caught in that one big one where the 57 got turned going into one. Got a little nick on my door. Car landed on top of me, but that didn't seem to mess up my aero too much tonight.
Well, a great job able to hold on to it, and yeah, that big one really took out a lot of players there. Not as uh, an incident that you normally see at a track like Michigan, where you kind of surprised to see that big one right there happening right in front of you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Trying to get through it and navigate it. These trucks doing 150 in the corner, you cannot turn left on a dime. So, like I said, the 13 came down the track after getting collected in it, and I got scraped a little bit, but like I said, not too much to damage the truck, and it was it was an entertaining night to say the least.
Well, for sure. Well, a podium is never something to be disappointed in. Before I let you go here tonight, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to shout out my wife, my spotter, old Don Blazer, and my buddy in the booth, Chuck Cobb, and Global Racing.
Well, awesome job again tonight, and good luck next week at Pocono. How you like your chances as the end of the season comes around?
Uh, for a championship, I might not make it to a championship, but the rest of the season looks pretty good. I love Pocono. I think we're gonna have a great night there.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at Pocono and the last week at Indianapolis. Have a great night.
You as well.
So that was your third place finisher, Ricky Hudges. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jason Miz. Jason, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Man, as I said to Ricky there, what a wild race tonight. Very atypical of Michigan. Normally you see a lot of 3 and 4 wide spreading out, and it didn't seem to be that way. Were you kind of surprised that the racing was as aggressive as it was right off the drop the green flag?
Oh no, I knew this was gonna be like a plate race, so everybody was gonna be pretty aggressive trying to get to that high side, stay in line.
Yeah, and the attrition there, you were able to sneak on through the big one there, not get too much damage. I don't think you had any damage on your truck at all, and able to stay up there towards the front. Talk us through the middle portion of the race there with the cautions after cautions and the big one there. Were you were you did you kind of just set yourself up, kind of seeing how the racing was, and knew that was going to come up, or did that kind of big one kind of throw you for a loop there?
Uh, I was pretty confident we were just gonna keep our truck clean, and I mean, I wasn't sure after one of the first wrecks. I had a big save. I got caught in the left rear, but it apparently didn't give me any damage. But I knew just saving the tires, save the tires, save the tires. That was going to be the biggest thing, and that's really what helped me be able to stay with Eric. Just being able to lift early and just stay in his draft, and we were just able to pull away. So I knew keeping the tires underneath me and the truck clean was, you know, going to be a big thing here. Where I knew there was going to be wrecks. I just honestly thought we would have a few more than we did.
Yeah, and you said tires being the premium here tonight, and never had that really super long green flag run to wear those tires off. But I know even after 10 laps, a lot of drivers are screaming for tires. So good job holding on to your tires and getting yourself up there with a second place finish. Tried to get the win. That was a great job at the end there too. A great run. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, definitely got a big shout out to Twisted Axle for having me on the team and you know getting me in this league with the Doghouse League. It's a great league, always fun. I give a big shout out to the wife for leaving me do this like she does, and
Absolutely.
definitely you up in the booth. Excellent job.
I appreciate that, man. And again, congratulations with the second place finish. And as the season goes on, we look forward to seeing what you can do at the end here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was your second place finisher, Jason Miz. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Eric Peck. Eric, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a run here tonight. Qualified well in getting yourself a win. Kind of a wild one, too. You had a front row seat to that big one and were able to sneak through it and keep a clean truck there to the end. And it seemed to be the difference. Right there at the end, though, battling with Jason Miz on that last lap, I saw him kind of lay back a little bit to get the run. Did that kind of concern you? And what was your thought process in that last 2 laps there?
No, that didn't really concern me because we're teammates, but I knew we were going to have a good, clean finish either way.
For sure. And it looked like as you were racing with Miz there at the end, it looks like I saw some flame shoot out. It looked like your truck was getting a little tight there at the end of that run. What was the tire situation out there tonight? Because I know a lot of people were saying that they were just trying to save their tires.
Yeah, I was too, but then when it got late in the run there, I'm like, I just got to push it, and I just ended up killing them.
Well, you did a great job here with getting the win tonight. Congratulations on that. And man, just a wild race. Were you kind of surprised the race was as wild as it was, or were you kind of expecting this one to be a little more green flag?
Oh, I was expecting it to be just like it was.
Well, there you have it. So, again, congratulations on the win. How do you like your chances the next 2 weeks at Pocono and Indianapolis?
Pocono won't be too bad, but Indianapolis is just not for me.
Well, good luck the next 2 races. And before I let you go, anything you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, my teammates at Twisted Axle East and Twisted Axle North. And then Daniel for putting this league on, and you guys for the broadcast every week.
Oh, do appreciate that, Eric. And again, congrats on the win. And we look forward to seeing what the rest of the season plays out here for you guys as the season comes to an end.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner tonight, Eric Peck, getting the win here in a wild race at Michigan. Again, we want to thank everybody here in the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, Shoney's for sponsoring. The Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Of course, they're open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of the West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar. Take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the SCSRA finale as that gets underway tomorrow night at 9:30. The Truck Series has finished up for the season, and we look forward to an amazing finish of the Doghouse Racing League. Again, thanks for everybody who joined us here tonight. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say,